captioning now. They've tried to get us to start doing captioning more. So I'm going to try to turn that on. And even though you can still turn it on in YouTube, I don't know if you can turn it on in Teams, but I know you can turn it on in YouTube. Anyway, to make a long story short, I'm trying to do it a little bit more. Let me show you around. First of all, let me show you around Teams. And I want to, what do you say? I want to hold all y'all up on a pedestal. I can't think of the name. Can't think of the word. I want to commend, there we go. I want to commend all of you for following essay directions. It's very nice to have a class that can follow directions. The last class, 3 people started meetings before I started the meeting. 3 people started meetings. You're not supposed to start meetings. Anyway, thank y'all for following directions and reading the directions. Thank you. Okay, this is the page. This is called the post page. When you get, let me just go back to the beginning. When you get to Teams, this is the page you see. Your page should look like that right there. And you click on it, and you get to this page. This is called the post page. The post page is like the bulletin board. We picked up somebody. Did we not pick up somebody? Okay, they put me in there. I don't know why they, oh, because I'm recording. Okay, I'm still learning Teams, and I've been using Teams for 2 years now, and I'm still learning some things. And plus, they keep adding to it, so they keep doing things that, you know, that are different. This is the general, if you post anything on this page, anybody can see it. Hello. There. If I post rate my professor, let's see, www.ratemyprofessors.com. I can send a link. I can send a attachment, which I've already sent y'all this attachment, but I'll send it again. Locator card. The reason I send it is because it's real small. And there, I just sent it. Let it load, and I just sent it. So I can send attachments, I can send GIFs, 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 whatever you want to call it, just like I did before class started. And there they are. I don't know why I cramped it up like that. Anyway, to make a long story short, I don't even like dogs. I'm a cat person, so that don't impress me. If you want to talk to each other, you hit the chat button over here. And let's say I want to send a email to Mr. Thornton. And I type in THOR. And there is his name. And I want to send him a message. And I'm going to send him, I don't know, let's see, I want to send him, y'all give me a second. I'm trying to show y'all how to use this because you can use pretty much, I'll send him hello students. And that's one of the documents I sent y'all. And he should say that he got it in a minute or two. It should be there, okay? So you can either chat with each other or you can go back to the post screen and you can chat here. Also, does everybody see that word, that file, that tab? It says files. Click on it, and there are all the files I sent y'all in emails. Capiche? You know what else is under files? After today, the recordings will be under files. There will be a file under, just like class materials. It'll be right under class materials, and it'll say recordings. And that's where you can go in and look at the recording if you missed class. Or if you need to go over class again. Capiche? Everybody good? I'm really not Italian. I just like to say the word capiche. Actually, you would not ever guess what without looking at my name, you'll never guess what origin I'm from. Anybody want to guess? Nope. Y'all care less. I know. Irish. That's it. I'm Irish. There's a black Irish. You can look it up. I'm not making it up. There's a black Irish. So I've been explained to me by my ancestral people that we come from a lot of black Irish. Black Irish don't have red hair and fair skin. Duh. But anyway, that's all my Irish people. So I'm black Irish. All right. Now, y'all ever heard of black Irish before?
Nope.
See, y'all learned something today.
I have.
I don't have any Latino blood in my ancestry. I don't have any Apache or Indian blood in my, it's all Irish. Go figure. Unless one of my ancestors stepped out. I don't know. That could have happened. Stepping out happened long before 2000. It happened a long time ago. So anyway, make a long story short, let's move on to the handouts. So let's pick a handout. Virtual rules. How many classes have y'all taken virtually? Anybody want to volunteer?
I'm taking 4.
Okay, have you taken virtual classes before?
Yeah, I took virtual classes over the summer.
How was it?
They were all pretty easy.
Good. Were they Tri-County or were they another college?
They was all Tri-County.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Anybody else had any?
I took one from you over the summer.
Which one did you take from me?
Matt 110.
How did you like it?
I liked it. It was good.
Good. So it's doable, but it takes 2 to tango. And I do as much as I can to meet y'all halfway. But y'all have to do the same thing with me. And y'all are doing it right now. You all are on video. Thank you. And you're communicating. Thank you. This Tide Pod generation, they don't communicate. They just sit there like this. And they don't communicate at all. So thank you very much. Ms. Hernandez, you need to lay off the liquids now. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. You got to have a sense of humor in my class. If you don't have a sense of humor, then you might want to drop me, okay? Because I go on with foolishness sometimes. And it breaks up the monotony. I'm telling you, you got to break it up. But when you're talking about a virtual class, you're talking about professionalism. You're talking about being ready, okay? If you do not receive the call, that's because you did not set your status to available. Let me show you where that is again, up here. Click on right there, and available. And when you log on, you automatically are available unless you start playing around with something you don't need to play around with, okay? And like I say, all you need to do is log on and just wait. This is where you should be. When you log on, you should be right here. And you should just be sitting. That's all you need to do. And then my call will come up and it'll say join. That's all there is to it. Let me tell you, the last class, like I said, I had 3 meetings going on before I even called anybody. They didn't read the essay directions. And they are, I try to make them as simple as possible. Okay, so let me go back to the be ready. Now, what if you're running late from work? Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're sitting at the desk and it's 15 minutes till class, you want to go ahead and get on the computer, get on Teams, and log on. If you're late, let's say Mr. Nicholson is doing something at work and he's not able to come into the office. Is that office or lounge or whatever that is? He comes in there late. Well, when he logs on and he comes to that page, it'll have the class there and it'll say join. And he just joins late. No big deal. I usually take roll at the end of class, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? If you miss class, watch the video. It'll be under the files, under recording. I cannot give you attendance for watching the video, but I do give you attendance for showing up to class. All right? I will send the call. Make sure you mute yourself. Now, this is a small class. We can get by with leaving our mics open unless Mr. Nicholson has a bunch of machines going on in the background, or Miss Davis has a bunch of birds or dogs running around making noise, or Mr. Thornton has the stereo going, or Mr. Bradley has the TV going. That we can't do that. Again, you want to treat this just as professional as you do in a regular classroom or your employer. You want it to be professional. Okay? Raise your hand virtually. Here we go. Those of you that not familiar with Teams, all these little icons up here. This right here, this shows how many people are attending. Right there. I don't know if you have that, but I do because I need to see who's attending. This is your chat box. Hello. And this is just like the page, the post page. Just has it right here. You can send stuff, you know, you can send goofy stuff if you want to. I have no idea what that is. Okay. You can send it through the chat box. You can chat. Hubert, please go over that problem again. Now, let me tell you this. I can't see the chat and I can't spell either. Again, I cannot see the chat while I have it on enrollment. So I would appreciate if you would ask your questions with the hand and then say, you know, or say, look in the chat, or, you know, just tell me you got a question and say, Hubert, I got a question. It's in the chat box or something like that. Speaking of which, how do you raise your hand virtually? Well, the next icon is the emojis. And I don't have to explain emojis to the Tide generation. Y'all know what emojis are. Okay. This is raise your hand. It toggles on. It toggles off. Okay. That's how you raise your hand. Now, I do ask that you raise your hand. Well, this is a small class. Attendance, I had 30 in the last class, and I've got 30 little boxes in front of me. I have to ask them to raise their hand like this in the video so I can actually see them. Okay, because their names are so small at 30. Imagine 30 of these. These names get really small, and I can't see them. So I do ask that you raise your hand physically, but since there's only 11 in here, you don't have to do that. This right here, breakout room, we're not going to worry about this. This right here is for your settings, device settings, if you want to change your device settings to another mic, or if you want to change your video to another video, that's that. Gallery, don't use the together mode. It is so cheesy. I actually wrote Microsoft an email, and I told them, this is stupid. Okay, I told him, I said, I love Teams. I love what y'all are doing, but isn't that stupid? That is about the corniest, cheesiest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I usually just put it on large. And since there's only 12 here, I could put it on small and it would still do it. See, there's a difference. Okay, and Bradley and Baker is not on video, or are they? Huh, because it's on small, that's why. Put it on large, and they should come back. There they are. I think they came back. All right, so that's those. Here's turn off your video, turn on your video, turn off your mute, turn it off. Okay, there's it. Okay, so that's that. And that's familiarize yourself with Teams. Okay, keep your video on. Don't do this. That pisses a teacher off. Don't do that. In other words, just show your ceiling. No, don't do that. Because two reasons. One is the teacher don't know whether you're in the room or not. And what happens if you don't attend class in real world and face to face? Do you get attendance for not being in the classroom? No. So you don't get attendance for this. Okay. Mute yourself. Oh, we already did that. Avoid distractions. Okay. We had a guy one semester. You can tell he was right out of high school. He put a filter on his background and his face every day. One day he looked like a puppy dog. The next day he looked like a dragon. The next day he looked like, after 2 or 3 days of ignoring him, he finally quit doing it. When you do stuff like that, it's just hanging a sign around your neck that says, I need attention. Don't do that, okay? I do encourage that y'all communicate with me as well as communicate with each other. And treat this classroom like you would anybody at your job, okay? All right, any questions on the virtual classroom? All right, let's go up here to academic calendar. I want you to write down some dates. Some of these are, no, they're not actual questions, but okay. And this is the second most important page to print out. I really want y'all to print this page out, number 2. Yeah, number 3. I want you to print number 2 out especially. And I want you to put it with your outline, okay? These are important dates. I'm going to give you 3 important dates. Number 1, write this down. Fall break, 25th and 26th of October. Write that down or put it in your calendar so I won't have to tell you. I think that's the only place that I see no classes. October 26th and 25th. 25th and 26th. Last day of this class, the 3rd. Y'all don't come on Friday. So that means y'all's last day of class is what? The 2nd. So you need to put last day of class for my Tuesday, Thursday class is December 2nd, Thursday. Y'all's exam online, you give my exam online, will be the 6th through the 10th. Now, Miss Davis says she had me. Who else has had me in here? Okay, Mr. Bradley, what did you have me for?
I had you for Math 110.
Oh, so y'all both came from the same class. Okay. Describe my class in one word, Mr. Bradley.
It was like relaxed.
Okay. Miss Davis, what would you describe my class as?
Well, I had it all online, so it wasn't really Zoom or anything.
Okay, so it's pretty boring. How much did you use my videos online for my previous class? Did you use my videos a lot?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, let me ask you the question, since I never get to see any of my online students. I never get to see them. What would you say the videos did in that class as far as helping you? A 1 or a 5 or a 10?
I'd say like somewhere in the middle.
About a 6 or a 7 or a 5 or a 4?
A 7.
7? Well, thank you for telling me that, because sometimes I wonder, with the grades I get, with the grades that they make in that online class, I just don't understand why. I got some students that don't even do the homework. They just sign up for the class and they don't do anything. So I don't know. But I'm glad you told me that. Thank you. All right. So that's print that page out and put it with your outline. Let's get out of this. Let's go to your outline right here. And the last page is the only one I want you to look at. There it is. This is the most important page in all the handouts that I send you. Somebody tell me why this page is so important. That means I want you to say something.
That's all the assignments.
It's all the assignments. That's one reason. But it's also in the order, right? It's also in the order that I'm presenting it. And what comes after every unit? A test.
A test.
So when we get to 9.4 and 9.5, what should all of you be saying to yourself? We got a test coming up.
Yes.
Why do I have to explain that to so many college students? I'm asking y'all. I don't know. I have no idea why I have to explain that to so many students. I will get, out of a class of 30 students, I bet I will get, well, I used to because I spend a lot of time the first day of class going over this. Before I started spending time on it, I would get 10 students out of 30 coming up to me the second week of class. When are we going to have a test? Finally, I got tired of looking at them like, I have no idea. I finally got tired of addressing it, and I just don't say nothing. I say I have no idea. They don't ask that very much because I go over this now more, at least 3 or 4 times the first day of class. When we get to 9.4 and 9.5, we are starting to get into the time period for the test. In fact, let me go to another page. Right here. This explains it right here. During the semester, it is important for you to do 2 things. Follow the outline and come to class and watch the videos. I don't know. Hollywood, Florida. I bet that's a robocall. Would you like to spend a whole week for free? I'm gonna tell y'all a little piece of advice. Nothing is what?
Free.
Nothing is free. All right. Where was I? Okay. Videos, and now let me talk about that. Like I said, let's say that one of y'all, Miss Ramirez, do you work anywhere? Hernandez, sorry. The letters start going together. Miss Hernandez, do you work anywhere?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Mr. Ramey, do you work anywhere? Okay, he's just looking at me. His microphone's not. Say again?
I said I have 2 jobs. I work at the Dream Center and I work at Moose Creamery. It's a little ice cream shop.
Okay, so let's say you get called into work and you can't come to class. You don't need to write me an email. You just watch the video. Now, I cannot give you attendance for the video, as I said before, but you don't lose track of the class. Now, that causes you to have to do a little bit of extra work. Okay? It causes you to have to go to YouTube or go to Teams and you have to find the recording and you have to watch it. Okay? Now, if you watch the video that you missed, you're back up with the class. So I'm just telling you that if you're absent, you need to watch the videos. Do not go ahead of me as far as homework goes. It's that, one, it's not going to impress me, and two, I may skip that unit. I may skip a whole section. And you've done all that work for no reason. Do not get ahead of me. How do I do the test? Well, when we get to the end of the unit, say like 5.4, 5.5, and I finish 5.5, I'm going to say it's time for a test. And that usually means the next class period, we're going to go over a pretest. And that says that right here. When I say we've got a test coming up, that next meeting, we're probably going to go over a pretest in what? In class. It will be similar to your test, but it will not be identical. The test, you will have 5 to 7 days to take the test. Why do I allow you 5 to 7 days to take the test? Come on, somebody mention it. Why?
Just in case we are busy a couple of days of the week.
3 dead grandmothers, 6 flat tires, my dog ate the computer, my house is in a flood. What else? What else do y'all use? My mama's in the hospital. She ain't, but you just use that as an excuse. Okay? This takes care of that excuse. You have 3 attempts on each test. I take the highest grade. Why do I do this? The dog ate my computer while I was taking the test. Lightning struck my house when I was taking the test the second time. And it helps you improve your grade. I give 90 minutes to take a 50-minute test. Now, the reason I do this is not for what you think. I do this because so many students use that excuse. While there are legitimate, documented, in other words, documented reasons for extra time, I will grant those after you take these 3 attempts. Let me give you an example. Let's say that John Smith is in my class and he has documentation for extra time on the test. I give him his 3 chances and he makes a 72, an 85, and a 96. Does he need to take that test anymore? No, he's got a 96. Only if he wants to, because he's got documentation. But let's say another guy, Bruce Owens, he makes a 65, a 68, and a 42. And he has documentation for extra time. Then I will grant extra time for him because he's documented and he has shown no progress moving with 3 attempts. Okay? So I need to make that plain because somebody will run to my department head. He won't give me extra time and I'm documented. No, I didn't say that. I said that after 3 attempts, if there is no progress shown, then I will give you the extra time you need. But I'm giving everybody an extra 40 minutes from the get-go. Does everybody understand that? How do I know that it's a 50-minute test? Because with my lab's math, they gauge everything you do. And not only everything you do, everything all students across the nation do, all the problems they do, Now, like 2.2, number 13. Y'all do 2.2, number 13, and so does everybody else that uses My Lab Math for 111. They do 2.2, number 13. And let's say there's 20,000 2.2, number 13s. They take those 20,000 and they find an average time. They add them all up, the time, and they divide it by 20,000, and that's the average time it takes the student to do that problem. Now, of course, they throw out the hour and a half because somebody left the computer on, or they throw out the 24 hours because somebody left and didn't turn their computer off or whatever for 24 hours. They throw them out. But they get an average, and then when I pull that problem over to the test, it accumulates the time, so I can tell when the time on average of the test is at 50 minutes. Does everybody understand that? So it may be 11 problems, it may be 22 problems, but the thing in the corner will say 51 minutes or 49 minutes or 50 minutes. It may say hour and a half, then I take off until I get to 50 minutes. And that's how I can tell you that each test on average is 50 minutes. Okay? When I go over the pretest in class, I'm going to turn off so I can eat my, that's fine. Okay? Whoever said that, I can't remember who said that. But that's fine. Mr. Nicholson, that's fine. You're allowed to go eat. Go heat up your lunch and eat. That's fine. All right. So with that being said, when I go over the pretest in class, I will assign the dates for the homework and the test. Now, this is how this is supposed to work. I'm going to show you how this is supposed to work. Let's say I go over 2.2 in class. And I go over the whole section. Then students should work on 2.2 homework and try to get all questions completed. Okay. Now, why will you not be able to get them completed? Because you run into a problem. And 3, send homework problems to Hubert via Ask My Instructor for next class. This is the way it's supposed to work. Now, Miss Davis had me for online, so that's different. This is not online. This is a structured class. This is the way a structured class is supposed to work. Now, what if I didn't finish 2.2? Well, if I didn't finish 2.2, then you don't have to start the homework, but you can start playing with it. You don't have to finish it. But when I go over and I finish 2.2 and I say, okay, everybody needs to work on their homework because I'm finished with 2.2. When I say that, that means the ball's in your court for 2.2. Now, there's 2 types of students. Tell me the 2 types of students. After I finish 2.2, who's the 2 types of students? Tell me the 2 types of students. What's one student going to do?
One person is going to do it immediately, and the other one's going to wait till the last second. Yep.
That's what's going to happen. And how am I going to tell? Well, for one, I can look on My Lab's Math and see 6 out of 11 have done their 2.2 homework. The other way I can tell is because you send 2.2 questions when I'm on 2.6. Not valid. And I say that the first day because y'all going to say, well, he won't go over my questions. No, I'm not going to go over your questions. We're in 2.6. You're doing 2.2 homework in 2.6. That's when you need to find me for office hours, because you are taking time from 2.6 material with your 2.2 procrastination. Truth hurts, I'm sorry. Okay? This is the way it's supposed to be done. Not put it off until, if the test starts on Friday, I'm gonna do all my homework on Thursday. No, that's not the way it works. So for the 2 or 3 of y'all that's going to try that, it ain't going to work. All right. Don't be a lone wolf. What's a lone wolf? Okay, I'm going to use Miss Davis because she's my former student. I've already used Miss Bradley. We'll use Miss Davis again. Let's say Miss Davis will like, bump him. I don't want to come to class every day. I don't want to do all that. I'm great in algebra. I got a B in algebra in high school. I'm going to do this on my own. So she grabs her outline, and she studies the sections, and she waits for my test, and she takes the test, and she's got 100 average. She's going to make a B in my class. Why? She didn't do the homework. The test and the exam %. The homework is 20%. I am not, 1, I'm a Southern farm boy. 2, I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I don't believe in giving everybody trophies. Okay? If you make 100, you get 100. If you make a 0, you get a 0. I don't believe in everybody getting trophies. So I want all of you to make an A or B. That's what I want. Is that going to happen? Hell to the no. Because there is lazy people in the world. They're called LAD, lazy attitude disorder. I have to change to attitude because somebody got offended because I used the correct term for a donkey. So, cancel culture, you got to love it. So make sure you get the homework done. All right? If you don't get the homework done, that 100 that Miss Davis made, when I plug in the zeros for her homework that she didn't do, she's going to get an 80. And then what's she going to do then? Somebody tell me what Miss Davis is going to do, because she chose, we are a product of our own decisions. She chose to be a lone wolf and do her own thing. And what's she going to do when she sees that B on her technical report card from Tri-County Tech? Come on, say it. She's going to have a bitch fit. And she's going to get helicopter mom and helicopter dad. Here they come. And I'm going to refer back to this recording when we have the meeting with my department head and my dean. If you don't turn in the work, you get 0 points. Everybody got that? Don't be a lone wolf. And with virtual classes and online classes, you can have that. Now, why did I say online classes? Well, in my online class, I saw that, Mr. Hernandez, no yawning in class. We actually had a teacher that would throw you out of the class. They got fired, of course, if you yawn 3 times or more. Can you believe that? If you yawn 3 times or more, they would throw you out. They got fired that semester. They like taught 1 semester at Tri-County. How dumb can you be? I mean, that's like telling a student They have to leave the class because they're sneezing. But we've had some dummies up here at Tri-County. Let me tell you, we've had some dummy teachers do some stupid stuff in the classroom. We had one guy, red Solo cup. I use a clear cup. Okay, this is Diet Mountain Dew. He would bring a red Solo cup to class every morning at 8 o'clock. And by the time he was at 12 o'clock, he was trashed. He got fired that semester, one semester. He didn't even make it halfway through the semester. I don't understand. If I even thought about doing something like that, I'd get fired. I can't imagine actually going to the car after class, each class, and filling up my red Solo cup. Y'all act like y'all, that's nothing to y'all. Y'all ain't never seen anything like that before. Yeah. We had one teacher, and I'm gonna finish with this. We had one teacher, he was a Spanish teacher. And he decided to do something illegal. So, if you're going to do something illegal, at least lock your office door. If you're going to do something illegal, like drugs, please lock your office door. I mean, just stupid stuff. Y'all ever had anybody do something stupid like that? Y'all had any crazy teachers before?
I mean,
give me an example. What did they do crazy? Anything?
In my high school class, my physics teacher was caught sexting minors.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That thing was perverted. That thing, well, it's legal too. Daggum. Oh, well, we'll just leave on that one. I mean, I just don't understand. You're supposed to have a degree. You're supposed to have a little bit of sense. Oh, well, I'll shut up. All right, let's go on, move on. I think I'm good. Now, let's move over to our handy dandy My Labs Math. Now, let me ask y'all, since we got a small class, just raise your hand physically so I can see you if you have already registered on My Labs Math. Okay? All right, I'm going to pick on Mr. Thornton. Mr. Thornton, how long did it take you to register on My Labs Math? Minute-wise?
I'd say probably about 2-3 minutes.
It takes some of my students a week and a half. I'm serious. So I'm going to walk through it, and then I'll show you what's important, okay? So here we go. And I'm going to go to Blackboard, and I got to get out of Tri-County. If you stay in Google Chrome, it locks you out, and then you can't get back in it. So I got to get out of Google Chrome, go back into Google Chrome, Tri-County, Flip Phone University. All right, Blackboard. And now I got to send a confirmation code. This is something new that they started doing, 940887. Okay, find your class. Now somebody time me. It's 12:08. Somebody time me. Here we go. Find your class. And y'all are 109 something. Or y'all 111. Y'all 111. There it is. Click on your class. My Labs Math. Click on it. Click on My Labs Math. Find your class. Well, you don't have to find your class because most of y'all don't have 15 classes. All right, hit the green button. hit the green button, and you may have to hit the orange button after that, and that's it. Boom. You are registered onto My Labs Math. Now, let me show you a trick I learned in the war. After you register My Labs Math via Blackboard, you can log in at, hold on one second. I have a camera at my mother's house, and when I see, okay, that's my sister. When I see a car that I'm not familiar with, I have to look, make sure. I mean, she's 81 years old. I have to keep checking on her. All right. After you register through My Labs Math via Blackboard, you can log in at, and I'm fixing to send y'all that. And here it is. Tell me y'all see it. Give me a nod when you see it. It's a link. Everybody see it? And you can copy and paste that. Go ahead and copy and paste that so you'll have it. That is the link that you can go to log on to my after you register through Blackboard. Why would you need to go here and not through Blackboard? Can anybody tell me what Murphy's Law is? Oh, come on.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Okay, when you need to turn in something on the deadline, Blackboard will be down. Do not put your faith in Blackboard, especially if you're a procrastinator. Make sure you have a plan B, and this hyperlink right there, that's plan B. Or you can use it to set up your desktop and just go, after you registered, you can log in there. Capiche? Now, once you get into My Labs Math, there's 3 buttons that you need to be aware of. Assignments. That's self-explanatory. Gradebook. I don't know why I have to explain this to college students, but the gradebook is where you find your grade. And e-text. How you pull up your e-text so you can read the material, or if you want to print it out per section. It takes a minute to pull up 300 and something pages. There it is. Now, what I want to show you is this. When you go to homework, I'm just going to pick a section. What is the, has anybody got an outline in front of them? Don't we start in 9? That's number 2, Ms. Hernandez. You only got one more. I'm going to have to throw you out. I think we go through 9.4. Well, here's algebra review. We'll look at that. This is what a test question looks like, as well as homework question. The reason I'm going over this is some of y'all have never used My Labs Math before. Okay, here's the question. What I'm going to show you is, what are these? Okay, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to give you the definition for these buttons. There you go. Help me solve this. Help me solve this is a guided tutorial. A guided tutorial will ask you questions while it's explaining. So if I hit help me solve this, first of all, this is a pretty simple exponential. Oh, that's it. I get to throw Ms. Hernandez out of the class. All right, help me solve this. It will ask you questions as I go along. See? It will ask me questions. It's just not going to show me. It just asks me questions. It'll show you and ask me questions. The people that use help me solve this usually are people that have never seen the material before. Most of you have seen algebra before. So most of y'all are going to use the other one, which is not here, which is view an example. Okay? View an example is the one that most of y'all will use. People that use help me solve this have never seen the material before. They've never seen the material before. View an example, and I always spell view I before E, except after, hell, I don't know. View an example. Somebody tell me if it's right or not, I'll change it. Example. That's if you are suffering from memory. Okay? In other words, so does somebody look at view? VIE. I always get it wrong. I suck. VIE. View an example is when you have seen the material, but you can't remember it. Video and graphic, that's for you visual learners. Where is that? Right here under give me more help. This one does not have one, but sometimes they'll come with a video or a graphic tutorial. Well, what is Ask My Instructor? Ask My Instructor is what I want to talk about. Mr. Bradley's making me dizzy. All right. Where are you going, Mr. Bradley? Is it time for class? You had to go move?
Yeah, I had to move.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm trying to turn on the... Okay, for some reason it's going through this. Okay. Let me fix this. There you go. What is Ask My Instructor? Well, I'm fixing to show you. I'm beginning to think Ms. Hernandez is on sleeping pills. Ms. Hernandez, you need to lay off the drugs, girl. Okay? You're going to have to drink a Mountain Dew or something before class. All right, what is Ask My Instructor? Ask My Instructor is this. Let's say, where's my, well, I thought I had a problem pulled up. I do. I'm going to ask my instructor, and if you didn't suck, I would know how to do this problem. Okay? So the reason I'm typing all these weird, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to send it. And then the next day, which is Thursday, I start class. I go, well, let's check out the homework first. Let's look at whatever section this is, review section. Let's see if y'all send any homework questions. And then I'll pull up and I'll go right here. And there is my homework question that you sent me. And I put it in 111. And there is the question, and there, no, that's not the one. That's not the one you sent me, is it? Hold on. Oh, 111. There we go. Here it is. And how do I know it's that question? Because that's all the misspelled words. See there? It sent it just like that to my email. So what does this do for the class? It helps me and it helps the class. Tell me how it helps the class to use Ask My Instructor.
Because it gives you the problem, and if someone is having a problem, you can bring it up later in the class.
Okay? I can do it in class. And I'll tell you a little secret. Usually when people send me a question, they're not the only ones that have the question on that particular question. Usually when a student, especially a very good student, you know, above average good student, if they send that question, chances are a good portion of the class will send that same question, or they have a question about that question. That's usually the way it works. If I do 2.2 homework, if I do 2.2 present, and you as a class do 2.2 homework, what am I going to be looking for at the beginning of Thursday's class? I'm going to be looking for 2.2, Ask My Instructor. Now, what's going to happen when I look there? I'm either going to see no questions or I'm going to see several questions. Tell me what happens if I see 0 questions. The world's going to explode. No, that's global warming. That was supposed to happen in 2000. That's when Al Gore said it was going to destroy the earth. Okay? What's going to happen if I have no questions from Ask My Instructor?
We move on.
I'm going to move on. Because if I don't see any questions, what's that telling me from the class?
We understood the
You understand 2.2. If I have several questions, I'm going to go over those questions, and I'm going to make sure everybody understands it. So this will slow the class down. This will speed it up. And there will be some homework questions that y'all can get. I mean, there will be sections of homework that you totally understand. And if you don't send me questions, I'm going to keep on going. Now, what's the problem with the procrastinators? With the procrastinators, let's go here. Monday, I go over 2.1. Wednesday, I do 2.2. Friday, I do 2.3. And let's say Monday, I do 2.3 again. I finish it. And Wednesday, I do 2.4. And Friday, I do 2.5. Well, let's say that everybody does 2.1 homework here, 2.1 questions we went over. I finished 2.2. You do homework on 2.2. You send in questions. We go over questions on 2.2. I do 2.3. You do the homework here, blah, 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 blah. When the test rolls around, what section of homework you going to be working on? 2.5, because you've done these. And the only section when the test rolls around, you're working on what? 2.5. Everybody see that? Again, that's the way it's supposed to happen. Here's the procrastinator. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, test. And I open up questions for 2.5 and I see a 2.1, a 2.3, a 2.2. Well, I'm just going to ignore them. I'm going to 2.5 questions. Because what has this just told me? I've got procrastinators in the room. Everybody see that? The difference between the two scenarios? This is the way it's supposed to happen. This is the way some people choose. And I will ignore these in the classroom, and you'll have to find time to give me virtual office hours, and I'll go over these outside of class. I'm going to get you either way. Why? What do you mean I'm going to get you? I'm going to make you either, you're either going to show, the excuses and the procrastination, or you're going to get with the program. Okay? All right? Okay, we almost finished here, I think. Let's see, what time's class supposed to be over? Let me look. Class is over at 12:35. We finishing up, Mr. Shirley. Okay, so I'm going to take a chance right quick. I'm going to turn this recording off. And do not leave. Do not leave.